Is anyone truly happy? Can we find true peace and happiness in our hustle, bustle, get it all done culture? I think the answer is yes, but it may not be the way that you think. It all started around 16 months ago when my daughter was born. A change, a different path, a different way of life, stepping out of society's expectations and common beliefs. I picked up a book by Cal Newport called Digital Minimalism to read while on vacation with my family. And little did I know everything I had believed about homemaking, motherhood, being a wife, contentment, joy, peace, work, and life was about to change over the next year. You see, I was a young adult and woman who struggled, sometimes in big ways, with anxiety, panic attacks, low self-confidence, etc., right? As women, how many of us could say the same thing? But I'll let you in on a little secret. It doesn't have to be that way. After reading that book, I took what I thought would be a 30-day break from all non-essential technology use. And I can honestly say it changed my life. It was a wake-up call, a beacon of hope, a line back to myself. I had my daughter 16 months ago, and I decided I wanted to be the woman she looked up to. Not the woman who was always frazzled, always angry, always unsatisfied, and not the woman who didn't fully and deeply love herself. I've been that woman. I've lived that life. I want to go back in time to when I was a new wife, a new homemaker, a new mom to my sweet, precious 4-year-old son, and hug her so tightly and tell her change was coming. I struggled postpartum pretty significantly after my son was born. I struggled with feeling inadequate for the task, feeling like I was missing out on something, feeling like I had a broken body, feeling like I needed to buy more and more to make his childhood better or get him ahead, or some notion I had made up in my head. Today is a different day and a different woman. As my life changed and continues to change, I feel a desire to let women know that life can be so much different than we think it has to be. You can feel fulfillment and love and patience and, dare I say it, happiness exactly where you are right now. It doesn't have to be when you don't have little kids anymore, or you complete all your house projects, or when you have that new item that's missing from your closet. What I've learned and what I feel to my core is that happiness is a choice you can make here and today. Contentment and true happiness comes from within, and it always will. There's no hack or routine or thing you can bring into your life that will cultivate true, real happiness. There will always be something else, the eternal chase for happiness, unless it's cultivated from within.
She's hitting me. She's hitting me really fast.
The small ways that my life has changed, not rushing, instead of trying to get through a meal or get home as quick as I can or get to church as quick as I can or anywhere that I'm going. Instead of trying to rush through those little moments of our day-to-day lives, trying to actually slow down, because there's sometimes wonderful things that happen in those moments that we try to rush through. The second thing was getting rid of, I'd say 75 to 90% of my belongings, anything that was unnecessary. I've made trip to Goodwill to really declutter our home, my children's toys, my closet, anything and everything. And that's made such a huge impact on our lives. 3 is resting. And I feel like that's kind of a hard one to explain. I don't mean just laying on the couch scrolling social media. I mean true restorative rest. Rest that comes from putting your phone down. Rest that comes from prioritizing sleep. Rest that restores your soul. The next one would be extremely minimal phone use. This one really speaks for itself and has truly done wonders in my life. I really can't even go into detail and explain how deep of a change this has made in my life. And the last thing that I could say that I have changed this year is nourishing my body well and leaving diet culture. I feel like I've always grown up around, I've always been a person, and I feel like as women, a lot of us could say this, that have bounced around from one diet to the next, one new thing to the next, and it never works. It's not true nourishment. And honestly, it's never going to give you the results you want until you learn to nourish your body well and put good things in, exercise, and really focus on the inner work too before you kind of have those outer results, and just leaving diet culture behind and not really going down that path anymore and just focusing on nourishing my body well. Those 5 things, I could honestly say more, but those 5 things, I feel like that's a short little list of the ways that my life has changed tremendously over the last year.